My name is Cam Huxford. I have a wife named Haley. We've been married for 7 years. I have a daughter named Riley. She's 17 months old, and she's awesome. I moved to Seattle 4 years ago from Georgia. I'm the worship director at Mars Hill Church, downtown Seattle, and I lead the band Ghost Ship. There have been a lot of really amazing, good opportunities that have come along. I feel really blessed to be able to do ministry in an urban context. Point to Jesus and preach the gospel through music. That's what I feel called to do. And there's been amazing opportunities to do that. Probably the greatest opportunity that I've ever seen in my life. But it's really difficult. It seems like an overwhelming amount of need, a lot of hurting people. There's a lot to be done. So when I would get an opportunity, I would be like, oh man, this has got to work out. And I was really anxious. So I had all this anxiety. It was the first year that we were learning how to be parents. We were also trying to get pregnant again, and we actually had a miscarriage this year. And that kind of led to a whole different kind of anxiety, just really wanting to have more kids, wondering if it was going to happen or wondering what was going to go on. Along with that, money has been really tight. I feel like we've been struggling just to get by. Haley and I have just been telling each other, God will provide, but there's been times where we just didn't know if that was true or not, and that just sounded really empty because we were saying it to each other so much. It got to the point where I actually started to get physically sick. I think I was just worn out of just being anxious, being worried, and sick for over a month, and I couldn't shake it. And in that month, I actually lost my voice. And being a musician and someone that leads gathered worship at a church, that really scared me that I'd lost my voice and I couldn't seem to get it back. So I was home from work. I was at home in the middle of the day. I was sick and I had no voice and I was worried and anxious, and I started praying, and I prayed, God, please heal my voice. Please heal me of this sickness. Please give me comfort, give me rest, give me peace. And I prayed, and then I waited, and I didn't hear any response, and I didn't feel any peace or comfort or anything like that. And I waited, and I didn't feel any of those things. And what I honestly felt was the Spirit say, you really don't need healing and peace and comfort right now. What you really need is Jesus. And I was like, wow. And I actually changed my prayer. I said, well, God, if you're not going to give me peace and healing and comfort and rest, then give me Jesus, whatever that means. And I guess I heard from the Spirit again. I just felt the sense to read Revelation 21. And so I read it, and I just saw Jesus. And seeing Jesus also caused me to see my own sin. I'm like, man, this anxiety thing is not just something I'm suffering with. It's not like a condition that I struggle with. It's just sin. And I felt convicted. I wanted to repent of that sin. And I was reading through Revelation, this vision that John had of Jesus, and I just started singing it. And as I was singing it, I was hearing the gospel preached to myself, and I became even more convicted and more impacted by that verse. In that whole year of anxiety, I realized how nearsighted I'd been in a way. I had been looking at my situation as, I'm a new dad that's struggling with that. I have this difficult job doing urban ministry, struggling with that. The money is tight, that's a struggle. There's all these new opportunities that I need to work really hard to hold on to. And I was viewing that as my situation. But really what reading Revelation 21 caused me to see is that if I look beyond that bigger picture, if I take a step back, my situation is that I'm a person that lives under the perfect reign and rule of Jesus Christ, and He is in control.
Wipe away every tear from our eyes. Death will be no new city. Its temple is Jesus Christ the Lord. And this bright city has no need for sun, only the glory of our God.